Hey guys, how's it going? Malagant here. Welcome. We're going to be talking about the latest Grim misadventures, I should say. Zente's last boss was yesterday. Actually, there's one that I did not cover on YouTube, which was not necessarily the high-paced release when it comes to news. It was talking about basically two new enemies, one of them being the Scarabs and the other one being the Sandclaws, some sort of like raptors. Um, it's cool and all to see like new enemies, but I didn't necessarily have anything to like talk about when it comes to making a video, so I just like skipped that bi-weekly. But this one right here is really interesting, and to be perfectly honest with you, I have absolutely no idea what I think about this. It could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. I am not really sure how. I think it will be extremely hard to balance this. It is going to be yet another page of grinding at the same time. Now, I'm going to be giving an example of just this expansion right here, just one item, Ogdenburg flowers. Them alone was able to make it so that people were saying, okay, I'm not going to be using the AOM, the expansion components on my gear, even though they're extremely good. So many friends of mine that have like thousands of hours in Grim Dawn, I'm still looking at their characters. They're running around with like the vanilla, with like the normal components that are, cheap and easy to craft or even drop. So it is sort of a hassle and something that is not so undesirable. So that being said, in this mechanic right here, it can, since it is going to be obviously put one more layer into like grinding, or one more into like having more resources to collect, or more resources that is needed for something, it might actually put something sort of a hassle as well. But that being said, like, without playing and without seeing what people are coming up with, without seeing like how helpful this right over here, I cannot necessarily say so much. That being said, I'm extremely curious what you guys are going to be thinking about this. So make sure that you leave a comment if you like what is coming up or not. Let's go through with this. Let's read this. Today we are going to shift gears a bit and talk about one of the awesome quality of life features we have been cooking up for Forgotten Gods. Looting is a very important core aspect of RPGs, and we have made many improvements over the years of Grim Dawn's development. Whether that meant improving the chances of rerolling a duplicate item, improving the viability of crafting for endgame purposes, or just generally increasing drop rates. That said, despite Grim Dawn being one of the most generous RPGs in terms of loot, despite Grim Dawn being one of the most generous RPGs in terms of loot, it can still be frustrating when you're trying to complete an item set and you end up with duplicate. Now, excuse me for taking a break here, but was it really necessary to mention, like, despite Grim Dawn being one of the most generous RPGs in terms of loot, like, I'm not really sure what Sentai means by that. Is it really generous in the first place? Like, generous as in, I would say like throughout the game, sort of yes, but which ARPGs are we like comparing here? Are we comparing to Diablo 2? Are we comparing to like Path of Exile, Diablo 3? I don't know. I think the sentence, I shouldn't be obviously like overthinking about this, but at the same time, I don't think it was necessary. Is it even generous? Is it even a good thing for an ARPG to be one of the most generous ARPGs? It might even not be. Players who had invested many hours into the game may be brandishing every item under the sun, but we know that there are many of you still out there that are eager to try out Grim Dawn's many sets. If you could only complete them. For that, we would like to introduce a new feature coming out to the inventor service, Forgotten Gods, the Transmutation. Now, this is exactly the same guy right over here. This guy, the Dalet. So this is the same interface. You're gonna realize this soon. So instead of like salvage and dismantle, we're gonna have like one more option, which is the transmute, right? So right over here, as you can see, transmutation has been created specifically to aid you in completing item sets. Whenever you end up with a duplicate set piece, you can simply bring it over to your neighborhood inventor. Then you'll have two options: same set or random set. same set, as you can summarize, this option allows you to turn a set piece into another one of the same set. While this mechanic is more expensive, okay, there's something important that he's mentioning. Then the random set option, you're guaranteed to get another piece of the exact set you want. RNG gods not favoring your drops and cannot find the blueprint for that set helm, transmute another set piece into it. Consequently, were you able to find the helm blueprint, but you had no luck for the rest of the item set? Farm up the materials to craft additional helms and then transmute them. Now, I don't know, like when this is mentioned, like, you know, this is exactly my fear when it comes to it. Was this necessary? I don't know. Like, I think it's a good addition to the game, yes. Was it necessary? I have absolutely no idea. At the same time, I think it's going to be one of those things that is like extremely hard to balance when it comes to, like, you know, putting up the right price into it. Like, for instance, in my opinion, in Grim Dawn, you know how it is possible to just like purchase legendaries in the game. I think the price is just right for that, because it is up to a point where like it's almost always not really worth it, and it is sort of a gamble. I would like this to be that way too, so that like you're just saying, all right, fuck it. Like, I would definitely not like this. Farm up the materials to craft the additional hand and transmute them into other pieces. Like, if it is this reliable, I think that would be just killing it. That would be just insane, you know? When it comes to me and RPGs, don't hate me on this one, but I don't necessarily, you know, look for lore so much. I don't necessarily look for, like, conversations so much. Hell, I don't even look for cutscenes so much. What I look for is, like, really good itemization, really good and good trends, like, smooth, I should say, transitions between screens, transitions between kills, you know, fluid combat, obviously, that's what I mean. Really good scripted bosses. They don't necessarily need to be too many of them. Just a few is enough, just like in Grim Dawn. They don't need to be too complex either, or too hard either. It's just right balance, you know what I mean? But itemization, you know, the grind, the fluidness, and the transition between the screens, and without taking a break. That's sort of like what I'm searching for in RPGs. I think I would like to just let it flow, and I don't want to be sitting in town, and I don't want someone else to be sitting in town trying to complete this. That is my thought right now, but as I said, like in the beginning of the video, it can definitely change. I'm really wondering what you guys are thinking about, like what this transmute is. Was it necessary? Does it fit Grim Dawn? As you know, in Diablo 3 there's Kanai Cube, which is capable of doing just this, the same set conversion. You can put one of the set pieces that you found, maybe even from the blood shards, if you're not familiar. Blood shards is something that you you know, collect over the hours of grind, and then you can just, like, you know, kind of gamble in an NPC that is, you know, giving you question marked items, and you can end up even finding the item that you need. But if it's not, you can, you know, go to the Kanai Cube and use this to roll it to something else if you would like to. Random set. So let's say your dice have been cursed, and just keep landing the same set over and over, despite you telling the RNG guys very clearly that you are not interested in rolling your 10th Markovian soldier. But luck just will not relent. This is where the random set option comes in. Simply place your undesired set piece into the inventor's UI and let them do the work. With this option, you can chance a set piece into a random part of completely different sets of a comparable level. Example, a level 94 legendary set piece would become an item from another level 84 to 94, obviously legend. And again, obviously set. Similar to the same option, you can also utilize the crafting system to craft set helms that could then be transmuted at the inventor. Now, this is something important to talk about, in my opinion. Like, this is something really good, because, like, it is making it so that, like, it is clear. At the same time, like, he's not mentioning the new levels, but I guess this is just an example, so there'll most likely be new levels, of course. But yeah, you can see the value, like the value of 84 to 94 is right there, so you can definitely get it the opposite as well. So you can put something that is 84 and set, and you can end up getting the 94 set as well. I will go ahead and say this. I believe the random set was not necessary. Just this one, in my opinion, is enough. and I am extremely skeptical when it comes to like the pricing of this. It needs to be done extremely right, in my opinion, for me to say that okay, you know, that is something good. That is something good to have, because as I said, like I wouldn't like this to be overused or used so many times either. I would just like this to be, you know, definitely not something like this. Farm up materials for additional helms and just like get the entire set from your 6 helm crafts. That is not something I'm looking forward to in Grim Dawn. That being said, like I'm extremely curious about what you guys are thinking about Transmute option, and overall, I do believe it's going to be a good addition to the game. But yeah, skeptical is the good word, I think. Really curious. We'll see. Following a short quest in Forgotten Gods expansion, every inventor, so I'm guessing we will see more, will unlock the ability to transmute your set items. So there was one inside the Crucible as well, if I'm not mistaken. There should be one in AOM parts as well, if I'm not mistaken. Transmutation is just one of several great new features we are working for you with the Forgotten Gods expansion. Check back for future development updates as we reveal more of what is in the store. Now, yeah, I'm going to be coming up with like more news as they come up with something that is like, you know, worthy to make a video out of. If it's just, you know, meet this new faction, then I might not necessarily like talk about it. But this one right here, not only I wanted to, you know, spread the news, but also at the same time I wanted to know what you guys are thinking about this. So leave a comment down below for it, and if you enjoyed the video, leave a like as well, and I'll be seeing you in the next time with more Grim Dawn. Peace out, dudes. Thanks for watching.